Jacob, I couldn't be happier for Jake too. Jake started off conference season not having a lot of success offensively. And he's battled and here over the last 2 games has really played well for us. And he's got those capabilities. It's just a matter of a young kid just continuing to gain confidence.
What about Jamar's game?
He's active. Jamar, I told him yesterday in practice, I said, Jamar, you got to get back to doing the things that you do that make you a special player. And that's play with that unbelievable enthusiasm. And he was all over the place in the first half. He still makes mistakes, as all young kids do, but he can overcome some of them when he plays with that kind of enthusiasm. And he was real good today.
Putting him back on the bench, did that help let him see the game maybe for a few minutes and calm him down in the last couple of games?
When that happened, it wasn't that I was displeased with him. That's why he went back to the bench. I just needed Darren Kent to sit down and watch. Just because Darren's going to give you everything he has. But he needed to sit down and kind of gather his thoughts and reorganize his approach. And that's what he did. And Darren's been real good since that situation. Kind of same thing with Dominique. They both have been real good since that situation. For us to be good, our rotation needs to be the way it is right now. Jamar's going to be a special player for us, but he provides that spark, that energy, that sense of athleticism and toughness off the bench. You got to have something coming off the bench, and that's what he provides for this team.
Coach, does it feel like maybe a turn of the tide right now with this team?
No, because it's a Big 12 conference, and if you start feeling good about who you are and relax for a second, you're going to get knocked down again. I'm proud of our guys. I'm happy that we've been able to find success again. But all that stops tomorrow practice. I don't know if you guys have checked, but Texas is pretty darn good. And we got to go in there and figure out a way to fight and survive and try and figure out a way to compete with one of the better teams in the country. That's what this conference does to you. If at 1 second you let your guard down, it becomes a long night again. And we got to be excited about where we're going, about that we're back to playing the kind of basketball that we played for the majority of the year. And we got to grow. We got to be willing to accept what comes our way and just be willing to take it on and continue to grow.
Frank, how important was Clemente's shot at the buzzer? They'd regained a little momentum. And
I think Freddie Brown had made one just before him. They had cut it to 9 or 8, and I think Freddie jumped up and made a 3, and then they scored a layup to cut it to 10, and then Denny made the 3 to make. I thought Freddie's, for us to attack them after they had made their run, and for us to find Fred and him to jump up and shoot that one in, kind of allowed Denny then to make his shot at the end. It kind of allowed us to kind of relax and say, all right, now we got this thing back under control. And then we just ran a simple ball screen at the end of the half there, and they showed and didn't get back, and then he jumped up and used every part of that rim to beg that one to go through. It was that kind of night. We jumped. Jamar told you guys early in the year he had a 3-point shot. I was happy to see he finally showed it.
Start of the second half, Denny really did a good job getting inside their defense and then found the open guys. I gave you a lot of open looks early in the second.
Yeah, Jake did a heck of a job of holding down the fort in the first half. Missouri's not easy to play against when you're a point guard. They make it real difficult for you as a point guard. And Jake did a heck of a job. Early on when he slid over to the point, he was a little hesitant. Jake's problem is that kind of pressure tends to speed him up to try and, which all young kids go through. That's what defensive pressure does to you. It makes you, rather than run the team, it makes you want to go score. And Jake kind of fell victim to that early in that first half when he moved over to the point. And then he settled down and he did a heck of a job. And then we were able to get Denny back out there. And he's little by little taking this team under his wing, and he's showing that he's settling in as a player. It's hard to sit out a year, and he's starting to settle in and feel comfortable about what we do and what he can do to lead this team.